welcome to Thursday. It's the update, and what are you doing here?
I know, right?
Yes, basically Jay is a little bit unavailable at the moment, so Nikita's stepping in to...
I'm stepping in.
Just for this week.
Just to clarify, the elephant in the room, I'm not Jay.
No.
I'm Nikita.
No.
You know, I'm just here. I'm here to be one of you guys and, like, you know, enjoy the news.
It's nice.
So.
It's always good to have a bit of difference, bit of variety. It is the spice of life, after all. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the news, shall we? So the first thing in the news today is a pretty cool thing. I discovered this the other day, and I thought, this needs to be shared with all of you, because, well, I think it's interesting. Anyway, so basically a brand new Mega Drive game is being made.
Ooh.
Is that cool? That is cool. I mean, like, maybe everyone's like, yeah, we know.
Thanks,
Mega Drive games get made all the time. It's like, do they? I don't know, but this one in particular caught my attention because it's done in kind of a style of like Aliens.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it kind of harkens back to Smash TV. Do you remember that game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the old twin stick shooter.
Exactly. Yeah. It's retro, coming back bringing it into the modern era.
Mm-hmm. But not only that, they're actually printing it on the cartridges as well.
That's just crazy because, like, fair enough, a lot of people are making games now. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who are making games for, you know, the retro era and all that kind of stuff. But to put it on a cartridge,
I know.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, it is good. It's really good. And not only the cartridge.
Not only the cartridge.
You get the cartridge, you get an original Sega Mega Drive box.
That's nice.
With the artwork and a manual.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No confirmation yet whether the manual is in full colour. I don't know. But can you imagine?
Be good?
Can you imagine?
Full colour manual.
But the gameplay is basically like Smash TV. They started it on Kickstarter and they hit their target like pretty much straight away. And it's still going up. And there's lots of different perks that you can get if you buy the tiers. Some of them are kind of selling out, but I think one of the collector's editions is still available. Which is the one I picked.
Brag.
But yeah, you get the game and the box and the soundtrack and all that kind of stuff. And the music is really cool. Do you know like old school games? I always found that they found it very difficult to do metal music, like rock and roll music. Yeah. And the guitars always kind of sound a bit scrappy, don't they?
Yeah, well, it's what they're working with. They don't have much.
But using the original hardware,
they've done it.
They've managed to do it really well. So they figured out a way to get metal music sounding awesome in this game. But yeah, it's basically you play as a marine, you run around, you shoot aliens, you can collect dog tags in the levels that you can then increase your grenade capacities, and it's a high score getter and all that kind of stuff.
The footage that I saw from it kind of reminds me of the Call of Duty Black Ops, the arcade zombies mode you can get to. I love that because it's like top-down shooter.
Yeah.
And it's just great, isn't it? Just trying to get that high score.
Yeah.
It's just...
There's nothing better than getting a bunch of friends around and just trying to beat each other's high scores.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that is it. It's not coming out until 2018, October time, but there's still plenty of time to get involved and go and back it if you're interested, or just keep your eye on it. And it looks amazing. It really does. If you don't have that much money, you can donate $1 and you can get a ROM download. So it's
nice.
Really... You can just spend the money if you want to get the physical thing.
I want the game.
Which, of course, I did. But anyway, so that's cool. And it's
a physical?
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, it leads us nicely into our next news item, which is a company called Retrobit has just signed a deal with Sega to produce some officially licensed Sega peripherals.
Nice.
Yes, and these are for the Sega Genesis, the Dreamcast, and the Saturn.
Wow.
So I'm thinking...
Wow.
Now, this hasn't been confirmed, but it's got a lot of people thinking that Sega are going to release some mini consoles, you know, like Nintendo's.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I mean, like they've obviously Nintendo, they've done it with the NES and then the SNES, and it's just great because you know, they can put the most popular games and just put it straight on there. It's easy, plug and play.
Yep.
Why would Sega not want to utilize that?
It's great. They've got an absolutely fantastic back catalogue of games. They could cherry pick some real nice games.
Yeah, they really could.
So like having that, I think it's such a great idea. The only thing that would kind of, I don't know, that with the original NES and SNES, the games the game sizes are very small.
Yeah.
So they're like kilobytes. They're not that big at all.
Yeah.
But Sega, Saturn, and Dreamcast, they're quite big. Like
They started getting bigger there, didn't they?
the disc games.
Yeah, especially the
because
discs.
they had a lot of full motion video on them, so that takes up a lot of space. But I don't know, maybe they'll have a bigger hard drive in there, but that might drive the price up.
That's what I was going to say. I'm sure they can find a bigger hard drive to put it on there, but price-wise, I mean, to be fair, the NES Mini and the SNES Mini were still quite pricey for what they were.
I think internet touters, what are they called? Scalpers.
Internet killed the prices.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they really do all the time.
They buy up all the products, and I mean, I got my SNES Mini for $49.99, which is the recommended retail price.
Yeah.
But everywhere now they're 120 pounds.
100 plus, easily.
I walked past CEX today in the window. They had a SNES Mini, $129.99.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? And that's in a high street store.
That's ridiculous.
That's in a high street store. So it's not confirmed, but I think Sega would be kicking themselves if they didn't answer back.
They want to jump on this.
Yeah, because, I mean, they could make an absolute killing off it. So yeah, that's another retro revival. And sticking with retro, are you sensing a theme?
I'm sensing a theme here.
Sensing a theme. Yeah, Chris Slate, who was the original editor of Nintendo Power magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're bringing it back. Not in a magazine form, as a podcast.
Oh, that's even better.
I know, right?
I really like podcasts, so I think that'd be great. I really miss the Nintendo magazine. Like, are you kidding?
So they're bringing it into the modern era.
Yeah.
And they're making a podcast. You can listen to it on Apple, iTunes, and SoundCloud. I'll pop the link in the description for the first episode you can listen to. The first one contains an interview with the director and producer from Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
And it's kind of got the feel of the magazines.
Yeah,
it's got the energy, the charm,
yeah.
but in a podcast. And I think that's great. You know?
So literally, everything you're telling me is that retro is in. Retro is back in.
It really is.
And it's blowing up.
It is.
It really is.
I think people in general are getting quite fed up of AAA games, and they're not AAA games because they are very good. But
yeah, it's the AAA industry and the AAA.
It's the stigma around it.
It's the guy sat at the top.
Yeah, they're ruining it for everyone.
They are. They're completely crushing.
Because if you strip away the big producers, right?
Oh yeah.
You've got indie developers at the end of the day.
Of course you have.
They're just very talented and can do really cool stuff.
They're talented indie developers who are being whipped by the man upstairs, and
Exactly.
it's just like it's just ruining it. And you know, they're in the news and slating, and we're getting like AAA games completely ripped apart in the news because of poor
and the government.
decision. Yeah, I know. Like what? Like laws are changing because of the AAA industry. Like, are you kidding me right now? No, it's ridiculous.
No, and EA's done this. They've brought it to the forefront, haven't they?
Yeah, they really
And
have.
They've really got some big names involved when it comes to their
Disney.
Disney are very angry right
Disney
now.
are very mad.
I mean, like, you know, put loot boxes and do all that shit to your own franchise, but when you fuck with Mickey Mouse,
You can't do that. You just can't do that.
Star Wars.
It's Disney.
No.
Don't get involved.
No. But since that, the fallout kind of has spread to their other franchises.
Yeah.
So it's like, ooh.
Well, of course, you know, everyone puts them in the spotlight. People
Are looking and going, hang on a minute.
Yeah, of course.
They developed that as well.
Exactly.
There's loot boxes in that as well. Sorry, that's not how people talk, but...
Who is that? Who's being?
My name's Joe Bloggs. I'm the general gaming public. You've put loot boxes in everything. I'm really upset.
Bloody Joe Bloggs.
Bloody Joe Bloggs. Anyway, so yeah, that's... well, it doesn't lead me into my next story, because my next story is a little bit different, but... it could lead into my next story. Basically, gaming disorder, right? Gaming disorder is actually becoming a legitimate mental health issue.
Wow.
It's actually being recognised by the Health Institute, and they're saying that, it can be a thing. Now,
what does it entail?
well, I guess it entails a number of things like amount of hours played and a lot of other things, like you feel like you can't leave the game or you have to... I mean, I gotta say, loot boxes have a lot to answer to this. Like, you know, the whole gambling and I must play.
I need to play more.
I mean,
I need the cool stuff.
Exactly. And it's like, if loot boxes are going to become recognised as a form of gambling, I mean, okay, it's not legally recognised at the moment as gambling.
It's getting that way.
I mean, I can't see
can't
much
see why-
difference
yeah, why it
between
wouldn't.
that and what gambling is. You know, in gambling, you give money, you get a random outcome.
In loot
In
boxes,
loot boxes, you give money, you get a random outcome.
See what's happening here?
Yeah, although in loot boxes, you're kind of guaranteed to get something.
I mean, like, if it's cosmetic,
Yeah.
you kind of know what it is that you can put on,
Yeah.
that you can change with your character. But when it's friggin' linked to the actual
progression.
game progression, sod off.
No, not good. But yeah, so basically, this gaming disorder is a thing, people. That's a thing. No longer can we say, well, I just like playing games. No, you've got a disorder.
We have a disorder. I hate that as well because, to be honest, through studies and everything, gaming has proven to help a lot of people who have other disorders, you know,
Yes.
anxiety and depression, all that kind of stuff. Like, it proved to help those, certain people anyway. So the fact that they're kind of like going, yeah, but, you know, it sounds like the mums of the world who are, like, annoyed with their teenage sons.
They've
and
got an
daughters,
excuse
like,
now.
Yeah, it's sort of like, you're
Gaming
getting a disorder. You need to get down here. It's like,
No, it sounds a lot worse than it actually is. What they've compared it to is people that drink alcohol don't necessarily have a disorder, do they?
No.
So it's kind of
In moderation.
Exactly. It's the excessive end.
Right, yeah.
The kids that like stay up for 72 hours drinking Red Bulls, playing League of Legends until they die at their desks, which actually happened.
Yeah, we see you.
Yeah, no, that actually happened.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
no.
it actually happened. A guy died. I don't think it was League of Legends, but he was up for 72 hours. He drank like 11 Red Bulls or something and literally died.
Well, it's not the game that killed him. I mean, it's the Red Bull and the lack of sleep.
And the fact that he didn't move for 72 hours. Yeah, so but that I would say is a grand case for gaming disorder.
Yeah.
You know, that guy had a problem. So that was a very shocking situation and crazy how that happened.
Wow.
But
I did not know that.
That happened. I think there actually have been quite a few gaming related deaths due to long periods of play.
This just went very morbid.
I know, right? It's why they put all the warnings in the books, like if you feel dizzy, take a break. Go outside. It's like the Wii always used to have a little picture of a window.
Of the window with the sun and the curtains blowing, like, go on, you've been playing for a while now. Sod off.
Go outside. Kick a ball around for a bit.
Especially with like the Wii. I mean, like, at least you stood up and doing something. Well,
Yeah.
you do for like the first time. The first time you actually play on it, then you actually, and then you're just lying on the sofa, just like, I'm playing tennis.
I'm Pete Sampras. Anyway, so yeah, gaming disorder is an actual thing, and they tested 19,000 gamers with a bunch of questions and all that kind of stuff, but only 2 to 3% of the 19,000 people who have tested displayed symptoms of one or two of the symptoms. So it's not widespread.
2 to 3%. I don't think we need to be worrying for 2 to 3%.
I don't think so either. But the fact is, a study has been done, people have been tested, and apparently it's a thing.
People have wasted their time.
Yeah, 2 to 3% is enough for it to be legitimately recognised as a problem.
Oh dear.
So that happened. The last thing, a bit of news off my list is EA again, and it's just confirming
Really?
what we all thought. And this is kind of it's a bad thing for them, really, because they said, you know, when the whole loot box controversy kicked off, and they kind of said to their shareholders, "Don't worry, it's not going to affect our bottom line. It's not a problem at all." Well, guess what? It affected your bottom line, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Oh yeah. All these, analysts have just dipped the profits a lot below predicted expectations because of a dismal performance of Battlefront 2.
This close to Christmas.
Yeah, how's that feel?
Yeah.
Not even Christmas could save you.
Ooh, burn.
Oh, yeah.
You messed up.
Oh, and I love it. I love it.
Do you? Hadn't noticed.
Oh, I mean, can we just all join together
For an R.
in a fist raise of victory.
Oh, yeah.
Just shake it. Yes. Yeah, doesn't that feel good? You guys did that. We all did that.
Yeah.
We all said, no.
We all spoke up, yeah.
No, EA. We will not stand for your bullshit anymore.
Preach.
Hallelujah. We put a stop to it for now. Well, it's not a stop to it, but the point, it's damaged their monetary reputation so much, it's given the loot box system a very bad name, and it's just painted brown across the industry, really, isn't it? It's just like, we don't want to go near that word loot box because look at Star Wars. So I think, despite people saying, oh, they'll bounce back and stuff like that, they may bounce back, but they'll never forget. And they'll never do this again, because we'll all be there. Because when they slip up, we'll be there to wipe their nose.
Every new game that EA brings out now, people are instantly going to be like, are there loot boxes?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at it. It'll be instantly in the spotlight. They literally don't have a choice. They can't back out from this.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's done. And that's kind of ruined that practice for everyone else that was using it fairly responsibly.
Yeah, that's the, you know, because when it's cosmetic and, you know, it's up to you if you want to go for them. You know,
I still think it's bad the way they do it cosmetically, because it's very tempting. They tempt you a lot. And no, seriously, a lot of people, and people that I know as well, have seen people wearing a costume or an item of clothing that they haven't got.
Yeah.
And they really want it. And
they
want it that bad that they'll spend money on getting the loot boxes to get the items.
What did you get when you bought a loot box back in the day?
I did.
What did you get? How much money did you spend there?
Wait, is this the loot box that I bought on what was that game? It was a shooting game, the one we reviewed.
Killing Floor 2?
That was it. Yeah, Killing Floor 2.
What did you get when what did you
right,
did you get?
That one was even worse, right?
I love this.
You win the loot box, okay? It's free. You get the loot box. There it is, loot box. To open it, you've got to buy a key, right?
Then it's not free.
No, it's not.
That's worse. I don't like that.
That's worse
terrible.
because then, like, if you keep playing the game, you get a ton of loot boxes building up.
Oh,
you got to buy a key
bad.
you got to buy keys to open them. So anyway, I bought the key because I was like, well, we were reviewing the game.
Yeah.
So I was like, I kind of have to do this because I want to see the kind of loot that you get. So I bought one key to open one loot box. You know what I got? A beige headset. For my character, a beige headset.
Kills me every
and I was
time.
just like, what? Really? $2.99. $2.99. $2.99 got me a randomized item from a loot box that happened to be a beige headset.
It's just the beige. How much does he hate the beige? Are you kidding?
I mean, beige sometimes can be good. Bailey's is beige.
All right, okay. I mean, if the headphones...
I can't think of anything else that is beige that's good.
Beige and good, yeah, beige and good. But like headphones, that's cool. As like for your character wearing headphones, that's pretty cool. If they were like pink or green or orange or something really cool.
Or tiger stripes.
Yeah, like something, you know, $2.99 worthy.
Yeah, but no beige.
Beige.
Yeah. So anyway, that is all we've got for the news, but we've moved swiftly into the part of the show where we read out your comments from last week's show.
Yes.
So Nikita.
I'll read this out for you then.
Okay.
All right, Andy M.
Andy.
Obviously, straight in there, Andy, as
How's it
always.
going?
Hi guys, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And Merry Christmas to you.
Will you be getting the Street Collection coming next year? The Street Collection coming next year.
I think you might mean Street Fighter
You're missing
Collection.
the fighter there, somewhere in there.
The
Street Collection.
Is that popular
Like
90s
really rad
band? That band, The Street? Are they called The Street?
It's definitely missing the fighter, because
Right.
then he says, also, what's your favourite fighting game?
Okay.
I wait till January sale instead of wishlist items. Bag gift is smellies for men.
Right, yeah.
The standards,
Yeah. But no, Street Fighter Collection, yes. I would get it because I am a Street Fighter fan.
Yeah.
I mean, the arcade machine I have over there is adorned with Street Fighter decals. It's basically a Street Fighter arcade machine. And yeah, Street Fighter 2, I freaking love that fighting game. I'm not sure it's my favourite fighting game. It's definitely up there in my top 5, I would say, if I had to pick 5. But I'd say... I don't know, I have fun with so many of them. Actually, no, you know what? I think my favourite fighting game of all time, the one that I've had the most fun with, was Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's my fave.
That's good.
That's my fave, yeah.
Sweet.
So, thanks for that.
Thank you. Oznock. Great video as always. Have you played The Last of Us? And if so, are you looking forward to the second one in the series? And also...
Does a one-legged duck swim in a
was going to say,
circle?
come on, are you kidding? And also, I would love to see a walkthrough of The Last of Us if you haven't played it. Bye-bye! With extra E's at the end there.
Oh, is that the...
Yeah, that's the
bye.
bye.
Yeah, yes, I've played Last of Us.
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
Isn't that an amazing game?
It's incredible. It's absolutely phenomenal. And yes, looking forward to the second one in the series.
We haven't done a playthrough of The Last of Us, and it's not the kind of game that we would do a playthrough of.
No, you've got to have like your own experience, I feel, with a game like that. And I don't know, it's like...
I mean, good games that we live stream or do playthroughs of are kind of like ones where like you don't have to listen to it that much. You can just...
For the story, it's just you can drop in and drop out. But like Last of Us...
You got to be in there.
Yeah,
you got to have that
focused.
experience.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I completely agree.
So yeah, but we wouldn't be doing a playthrough. But let us know what you think of the game and what your expectations are of Last of Us 2.
Ooh, exciting
That'd
times.
be good. Yes.
Thank you, Oznock.
Cheers.
William C5233.
William!
I can tell my worst Christmas present is, and I get it every year, becoming a year older.
But yeah, well, we all get that.
But seriously, Bren, the trailer for Death Stranding was in Death Stranding in engine, but knowing Kojima, it probably won't be in the game.
Yeah, it'll probably be.
Is this with the guy who plays in Walking Dead?
Yes,
yeah,
Daryl.
with Daryl, and he's walking with like a baby clutched to him.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's a very strange game, but you know what?
Kojima, of course, it's going to be weird.
It is Kojima, and I, to be honest, I don't think I've ever played a bad Kojima game. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of needs to have all the episodic crap stripped out of it and just make it into a one seamless experience, and that would be better. But I can't say it's a bad game because the gameplay's just it's just so tight. It's really good.
Yeah, it is good.
But yeah, I know what you mean, because obviously even with Metal Gear Solid, before they released the fifth one, they released that kind of 20-minute demo, didn't they?
Yeah, I really liked the demo.
Yeah, the demo was great.
The demo was really good.
It was, and maybe they'll do something similar for Death Stranding. So maybe what we're seeing right now is kind of what we were seeing before.
Yeah, like
thinking it was Metal Gear Solid 5,
yeah.
but it's not. It was the prologue kind of thing. So who knows? He might do that. He might not. But I'm looking forward to it. But I know everyone's saying, watch the trailer. But I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna leave myself in the dark with it. You know?
Sometimes it's best to do that for those kind of games, though. It's just sort of like
then
go
into
it fresh.
No
expectations. Yeah,
yep.
Completely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
thank you,
for that.
William.
Cheers.
Sleeping Rabbit.
Sleeping Rabbit.
Another great update. Keep up the awesome work.
Cool. Thank you very much. We will.
Luke Scott.
Luke Scott.
Hey guys, just a quick one for Jay.
Oh, Jay's not here, but I'll do my best to answer.
Have you played Flint Hook on PS4 for your research yet? Also looking forward to your new game update.
Right, well, no, I haven't played Flint Hook.
Flint Hook.
No, I haven't done that, but if you recommend it, I might check it out. But yeah, we're working hard on the game. We're breezing through a lot of cool stuff. Like me and Nate were going through some great ideas the other night. Got lots of things planned, and the new update video is going to cover most of that.
On New Year's Day?
New Year's Day! Woohoo!
Celebratory update video.
Or slightly earlier if you're a Patreon.
Oh, sneaky, yeah. Trying to encourage the Patreons.
Links in the description below.
Get on Patreon. Thanks for that, Luke.
Thank you.
Haley Weyham, yep. Hi guys, fab
Hi.
update as always. When are you both going into politics? As you managed to duck the Prezi question superbly.
Well,
asking
you know.
which presents. Merry Christmas. Here's looking forward to an amazing MOG New Year.
Oh yes. Obviously, we'll be carrying on. I mean, a lot of people are thinking like we have slowed down quite a lot on video production, and that's literally just due to us making the
kind of busy making a game. So
it
happens.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to balance that and a day job and all that jazz. But hopefully, by making the game, we're just hoping, we just want to make our mark on the industry. Really, like, you know, we love games so much that it just seemed the natural thing to do. Is rather than why are we reporting on everyone else's games when we could just make one?
Revelation.
I know, right? So yeah, but that's why we slowed down. But hopefully, the new year we will still have like videos being produced and stuff, and like hopefully there'll be enough content to keep it ticking over. I'm sure there will. There'll always be an update video in some way, shape, or form.
And live streams, just sort of like
as and
when, and different things like that. Yeah, so
absolutely, yeah.
Keep checking.
Yeah, it'll be a good new year. But yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you, Phil. Shooty shooty bang bang punchy punchy. Words I live by.
That's right.
Always. Is that Isaac?
Yep, Isaac.
Yep. Isaac, hashtag boycott EA.
Yeah, yes, brother.
Hashtag. Great update, guys. Can't believe I've only just discovered this channel. Like Matthew Long 1978 says, this is my go-to place. I hope the new game you're working on is going good. Excited to see more. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you found us. Because, it's nice to have new people.
It's nice to have a community.
Yes. We're all banding together to learn about how crappy the industry is. And apparently there's gaming disorders now, so that's great.
Yeah, great.
I wonder how many of us are going to get tarred with that brush over the next few weeks. Oh, you play a lot of games, don't you?
You play a lot of games.
You've got a gaming disorder.
Oh, dear. Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you very much.
Daniel McCree.
Hey!
Worst Christmas present I got was a beanie from an aunt about 3 years ago. Jeez, I hope she doesn't watch this. At the time, I was living in Townsville, Australia, where it's horrifically humid in December and 35 Celsius almost every day of the year.
You know what? I think you're very ungrateful because at the end of the day, right, this is a really hot country. It's humid. The fact that your gran could even find a beanie for you to wear, it must have taken her days to find a shop that would actually stock beanies in that place.
I tell you what, yeah, but the aunt might have got it from like somewhere else and then like maybe sent it. I don't know.
I know. I'm just joking.
Think Miami or Orlando in Florida. I've since moved to, is that Adelaide?
Yes.
Yeah, Adelaide, where it's slightly cooler, but even then, hardly cold enough for a beanie.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's 11 degrees Celsius today in England. I wouldn't wear a beanie in that.
I was going to say, I feel really mild today. I think that's just typical Brits, isn't it? 11 degrees, double digit in December.
Yeah.
Woo, aren't we spoiled?
I know, right? It was -1 the other day. Now that was cold. That was beanie weather.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Matthew Smith.
Matthew!
Does IGN stand for Irish Gaming Network now?
Did I do an Irish accent when I was taking the piss?
Love the IGN impression, Bren. That would be why then. You're doing an Irish impression.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend anyone. I don't know. I wasn't aware that I was doing an Irish accent. Maybe I was. I don't know.
Brilliant. Thank you, Matthew.
Fiddle-dee-dee, we hate games. Sorry.
Matthew Long 1978, which is what was being referred to earlier.
Hey.
I've only been watching for a short time, but this is now my go-to place for news updates. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
And of course, David Reynolds.
David, he's in there. Pow.
He always swoops in at the last minute.
Right in there. What's he got for us?
It's got this is the longest comment
It's an
we've
essay.
got. Yeah, you know.
We're reading
David,
it out.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Hey, all the guys and Nikita.
Hey.
Thank you.
She's here.
Thank you, David. I'm actually here to receive that comment. Merry Christmas. First of all, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. So when you said last week that NintendoQueen 2 was delayed, I was actually relieved because I have the King's Edition pre-ordered and didn't think I'd be able to save enough money for it in time because of Christmas. Also,
we've all been there.
Worst present received. A plug-in fan for my phone was for an iPhone, and I have an Android.
Oh, I'm sure there's an adapter for it.
That's still not the point. That's a burn. I mean, really? Come on.
There's a burn.
Best
What's
present.
the point? A fan? It's got to be the most
Are you
strangest.
living in the hot country?
It's the strangest phone accessory I've ever heard of. I mean, do they not just do battery-operated hand fans?
You got to plug it into your phone.
gotta plug it
That's
into-
really weird. And then, are you holding both the phone and your fan?
I guess. I mean, how?
That's not.
That's odd.
That's weird. That's a really bad present. Not only is it the wrong
It's
one,
just a bad invention.
it's just a bad gift altogether. Jeez. Best present was PS4 with Shadow of Mordor and Until Dawn.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's a nice bundle.
That is a nice prezi.
So, a tech question for Bren this week.
Oh.
Doodle-doodle-doo. Pressure. I really want to buy a graphics tablet to start drawing anime and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff.
Yeah, and stuff.
And would like to know which one you use and what would be a great one to start with.
Oh, well, I've got quite a few recommendations, actually. So, Is that the end of it, or?
Cheers, and by the way, really looking forward to next project level update vid. Whoop whoop. And after Christmas, I will be sponsoring the project on Patreon.
Woo! Future Patreon love!
Thank you, David.
Thank you very much.
Catch you all next week. So yeah,
Right,
tablets.
okay, so tablets. I use, you might have seen it in the video, the update video. For a lot of my artwork, I use a Wacom Cintiq 21UX, which is it's like a screen that you draw on, basically. It's an older model, the one that I got, because I bought it quite a few years ago, and they do new ones now that are more like widescreen, and the prices have come down. I think when I got them, they were around £2,000, but they've come down to about $1,300 now, with like a wider screen display.
Yeah.
So good time to buy. If you're just starting out though, I would recommend the Wacom Bamboo or the Wacom Draw.
These are great names.
I know, right? Wacom is the only company that I would ever buy a tablet from, and there's a very good reason for that. Wacom patented the technology for the pen to work with the tablet without needing a battery. So there's no battery in the pen at all.
Wow,
it's unpowered.
That's really cool.
It is very cool, and they've sat on it and locked it in. So if you buy any other tablet on the market, any other tablet that isn't a Wacom, you have to fiddle about and buy batteries and put them in the pen, and it makes the pen heavier.
And I can imagine, like, as the battery starts to run out as well, it starts getting less effective.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So Wacom products, just only buy Wacom. Only buy Wacom. It might be pronounced Wacom.
No. It's Wacom, because that's just fun.
Wow. So it's spelled Wacom. Tap that into Amazon and check out the Bamboo or the Draw. They're very good, and they're about £50. They're around about £50.
That's a good starting point.
I use those at work all the time. I can't recommend them highly enough. They're so comfortable to use, and the surface of them, they have what's called a paper feel. So it's a slightly rough surface. So when you're drawing with a pen, it naturally feels like you're using a pen or a pencil on paper. So it's got a really nice tactile feel, and it's not very difficult to get used to the drawing tablet. What I will say is it's hand-eye cursor coordination. So because obviously you've got your hand down here and you're drawing up here, so you've got to kind of learn how to draw like that.
From my own experience, I used one not long ago. You get used to it very quickly.
I've
got to admit.
I make it sound scary, but it's...
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had it in my lap, and like once you're doing that, you as soon as you've got it on the screen, it's pretty easy to follow.
Yeah,
but for to start off, if you're starting off, then that sounds like the best option for you.
Get the cheaper one. The cheapest one they do is about 50 quid. Then you can move up from there. You can buy bigger ones that have way more pressure sensitivity settings, loads of shortcut buttons. They get up to like 320 quid for the Intuos. There's even something called the Wacom Companion, which is a smaller version of the screen that you can draw on, which just plugs into your laptop, and it's kind of like that big. And it's got a high, cool display. And
nice.
I've looked at them. They're about £500, and like I've looked at them before and thought, "Ooh, I really like those." But I'm like, no, I've already got two. I don't need another one.
Stop.
So
with
that's what I use. Wacom. Enjoy those.
And that's it.
Let me know which one you get. If you do get one, I'd be interested.
We need you to save money for the Patreon, though. I mean, like that's Patreon and then Wacom. Like if you're putting them on a list.
Wacom. Wait, no. On that bombshell, I think it's time to end the news update. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, wow.
I've enjoyed this video.
It's great.
It's been good. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. As always, I've been Bren.
I've been Nikita.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Whack off.